So I don't know. Can I do the? I don't think I can do the Rodney. How he does the little flippy flip and it lands perfectly in his hand face up. I can't do it. All right. If this intro gets scrapped, it's because I couldn't do the Rodney. But let's see. Where he pulls the game off, he gives it a flip. Oh, Rodney! I hope you're watching this. First try, I nailed it, and I didn't at all edit out any of the other times where I screwed it up. I was thinking, what am I going to do for my first video review? Monopoly? The Blue Turtle Shell of board games? Instead, let me show you one of my favorite games in my collection. Machi Koro 2 by Pandasaurus Games. They're based here out of Texas. It's a city building game for 2 to 5 players. It takes around 30 to 45 minutes to play. And it has a deceptively simple premise. Build a very prosperous town and build 3 landmarks in order to win. And I gotta say, I really love this game. It's very simple. You can learn it in 5 minutes. But rather than hear me rattle on about it, let's take a look. Alright everyone, this is going to be a quick little overview on Machi Koro 2. It's not going to be a play-by-play, we're just going to take a look at the components, get to know some of the mechanics, and see how it all comes together in one sweet, colorful package. These are your establishments, which are going to be the backbone of your town, and these are going to be your landmarks, which are going to net you some sweet abilities and win you the game. Let's take a look at some of the different types of establishments. We have blue establishments, which work on anyone's turn. For instance, if you were to roll a 10 or somebody else were to roll a 10 and they all had this property, they would each gain the benefits listed below. Then there's red properties, which is how you're going to make bank off your friends. So if somebody were to roll a 3 and you had this card in your town, they'd have to pay up. And then lastly, we have purple and green properties. Purple ones have all unique abilities, which I won't go into here, and green properties can either net you some simple benefits and coins on your turn, or they can combo. All right, let's look at some of the other components, like our clinky, chunky plastic coins, our chunky red and purple dice, and our handy-dandy game flow reference card. Before I forget, let's take a look at our landmarks. We have 4 different kinds with 2 different types of effects. We have orange landmarks that affect all players, and then we have teal, magenta, and pink landmarks that affect only the builder. And then there's 2 different kinds of effects. There's continuous, and then there's immediate. One that happens right at purchase, and one that happens right at purchase but for the rest of the game. And they're also going to increase in cost based on if it's your first, your second, or your third landmark, with the exception of the loan office. Alright, we have a little board set up here, and we even have a mock setup of a town down below. Let's play through a turn and see how gameplay works. Let's start off by checking out our reference card. It says here we got to start by rolling either 1 or 2 dice. For the sake of example, I'm going to roll 2 dice and say that I rolled an 8. You're going to activate your establishments starting in order from red and ending in yellow. Since we don't have any other properties, and I totally scripted this in, we're going to roll an 8 and activate our furniture factory, which means we get to get 4 coins from the bank for each of these types of establishments on our turn, meaning we get 4 from the mine, 4 from the forest, and another 4 from the forest. And yes, you can buy multiples of the same property if you want. This is a great way to stack cash on just one turn on a roll of, let's say, 5. Or if you had 2 of these, 11 or 12, since most people choose to use 2 dice per turn. Next on our turn, if we were broke, we would get 1 coin from the bank. Lastly, you're going to figure out if you're building a landmark or an establishment. Then all you do is you pay the cost, grab what you want, and add it to your growing town. Then lather, rinse, and repeat until your town has 3 landmarks and you win. What's that? You want to show off your big brain skills and flex with your cash savviness? Then I say go for the launchpad win. This one, it costs the most, but once you build it, the game's over and you win immediately. Nice. And that's it for Machi Koro 2. I really love this game. It's pretty, it's deceptively simple with its premise of build a prosperous town and build 3 landmarks to win. But then there's those small little nuggets of strategy with like, okay, what kind of properties do I want to use? And how is this going to make me money in the long term? And when you're building landmarks, it's like, do I want one that gives me a temporary little boost, or do I want something that's going to kind of, carry me through the rest of the game? It's small little things like that that keep it juicy and strategic, but also that it's still very simple and extremely approachable. You can learn it in 5 minutes, and I'd recommend this to anyone, which is why I'm going to give Machi Koro 2 the Cosmic Ben seal of approval. And if you want a more detailed look at the game, I recommend checking out my Twitch VOD of when I played Machi Koro 2 as my first board game live stream. Anyway, thanks for watching.